Everybody, welcome back. It is Wendy Sellers here, the HR lady, with my co-host, JC.
Hey there.
We are here. We're going to dive right in because this is such an awesome topic, and it's sad that it's needed. But our guest, Michelle Dickinson, here is a workplace mental health strategist and resilience coach, and has given us some amazing advice about her business. So what's the name of your business, Michelle?
Trifecta Mental Health.
Trifecta Mental Health. And your website is careforyourpeople.com.
That's it.
I love it. I absolutely love it. We touched on this a little bit, but I want to talk a little bit more about burnout at work, because even without an official diagnosis of some kind of medical condition, mental health condition, burnout's real. So many of us, me included, if I didn't have a couple days off this past week just to go and burn off some steam and attempted to sleep, that didn't really happen, but I needed to just turn my computer off. I mean, I'm the HR lady and I was feeling so burnt out.
Yeah. Well, here's my question. Why are we letting it get to a point of burnout? Right? This is what I challenge my clients all the time. Why are you waiting until you have an employee hit burnout? Then you're losing them. Then they're going to be out of the office. They're going to be on disability. They're going to be trying to figure things out. And you're lucky if you get them to come back, because now they've been burned out by the work, the very work that they were doing that probably at one point they loved. So why wait to burn out? That's my big argument. Why not have these conversations about, how do I preserve my emotional well-being? What can I be doing every single day so I don't hit that burnout wall? So it's really about, okay, what strategies and tools do your people have to care for themselves? And it's everybody's business to care that they know how to do this. It's not, I'm going to go and take a spa day every 6 months and think that we're going to undo 6 months of compounded stress. Like, the reality is stress kills people. So if we can get ahead of it, we can preserve emotional well-being and therefore preserve burnout and then loss of work through, illnesses.
But can we try the spa days, Michelle? It sounded really cool. Like, I love the sound of it. I mean, that's just me.
So many people, yeah, of course. But
Okay,
so many people think that, I took a day off. I was really feeling it and I went to a spa. And then, like, at the end of the spa day, they're like, well, that was nice, but like, that did nothing compared to what I just for 6 months. So it's like, manage your expectations. So that's why I'm all about, what are you doing on the daily? What do you do every morning? What's your morning routine? What's your nutrition like? What's your sleep like? What are you doing to disconnect, to unplug from work? Like, all of these things are so critical. It's literally down to, what is your day-to-day routine look like? That's where I come in and say, listen, you have some opportunity. Let's make some changes. So you never even have to see the word burnout.
Right. I could tell you from my standpoint, I'm an HR consultant. Many of my clients don't have HR, or if they do, it's a person who might not be super savvy about it or has too many things going on. So I'm their source of help as well. And, I'm going to read you the statistic, and I was not shocked when I saw this at all. This was from the American Institute of Stress. 95% of workers report feeling stress at work. Almost a third describe their stress level as high to unusually high. And I know with my clients, with my friends alone, just in my friend group, I could see it on their face. And, JC and I, we've talked about this on another podcast or two, that in the last year alone, just in my very close friend group, I would say 80% of that friend group quit their job to get a new job that was less pay, but also less stress and less work. So they're like, I will give up the pay. And I think if you're at a certain level of salary or total compensation, you can do that. But for many people who are not, and they're at a lower end, they're just going to quit their job to go to another job that's low pay and be stressed about another reason. So, how do you support people that are just saying, I'm burnt out? For me, I go in and do management training and say, like, hey, managers, business owners, and then leaders, and then managers, you're the source of the stress.
Are they though? But are they though? So here's my challenge. This is the thing. You hire people because they're good, they're ambitious, and they're dedicated. then when they show they're dedicated and they give and they give and they give and they give to a fault, to the point where they're not creating balance so they can take care of themselves to come back and be focused and do the job, whose fault is that? Is it the employer or is it the employee? So this is where I want to bring it back to the employee and say, you want to have the long game be a success, then you got to make yourself and your boundaries and your personal self-care a daily thing so that you can keep showing up. You think of an Olympian, they don't do a race after a race, they take downtime.
Yeah.
Like we almost have to retrain people how to make themselves a priority so that they can show up and do the job that they know they're capable of. So many people forego that, thinking, I'm just going to grind. I'm going to grind 8, 10 hours, 12 hours. I'm just going to go. And that will never work.
Absolutely. You got the coffee, you got the Red Bull, you're smoking the cigarettes, you're doing the dip at the same time. You're skipping lunch, you're working through lunch because you're going to make it to the next meeting. You are going to climb the ladder. It's going to be amazing. Then you have a heart attack at the age of 28 years old. You know?
Yeah. And then on top of that as well, it's like, okay, so maybe they do climb the mat ladder. Maybe they get that commission check. Maybe they get that bonus check. But then the rest of their life, it may, be miserable because they said, I sacrifice relationships and friendships and families so that I can go after this career goal. And nobody stopped me. Therefore, I keep going. So I totally see what you're saying there, Michelle. We have to train not just companies, but we need to train people to stand up for themselves and say, I'm burnt out. But here's an interesting other aspect of it, since we were talking about generations in the first series, or first session of this podcast series, is the younger generations. You tell me, you're the expert, but the younger generations are doing that and everybody's mad.
Yes. They're saying, I want balance. They're saying, I need a mental health day. They're saying what they need. And I think it's also getting attention, and people are starting to say, wow, okay, this is not the way it used to be. This is a new world we're in here. So to be competitive, are you offering something as simple as a resilience coach to teach your people how to take care of themselves so that they can be the best of their, show up the best of their ability?
Right. With that said, we will be right back to discuss more healthcare options and mental health care options specifically for employers and employees. We'll see you in a minute.